Welcome back to another edition of Sky ranting. I'm just gonna rant. You know what? Let's call it. It is what it is. Call a spade a spade. But yeah, no. These are videos that we do in between long form content where we just kind of talk about what's going on in the community, talk about thoughts that come up during stream, and yeah, just have some good conversation. You all comment in the comment section, and we have some good dialogue. So, and I do read your comments. I know sometimes I get behind on responding, but I do see y'all engaging with the content, and I appreciate that. Especially since just a quick tangent. All of these are always tangents, but and now I lost my thought. Uh, oh yeah. So especially, I really appreciate the engagement, especially since these actually used to be the least viewed video series. Like I've been doing different types of content to try and kind of see what works, also see what works, not just for like you all and what you all want to see, but also like my own personal workflow. And yeah, like people used to be really mean and really hate on these videos, especially the early stuff. But also like my first video in this series was about divinity, and that was like a very, you know, taboo topic at the time. The divinity nerf, the original divinity nerf. So uh, maybe it was skewed. I don't know. But either way, I say what I say. Appreciate the engagement. Appreciate folks, commenting, offering like substantive thought. Not just like people just having like hot take reactions. Like people actually like listening to what I'm saying for the full amount of these videos and then responding. I appreciate that. Cool. All right, let's jump into today. So I've actually held off on talking about this for a while because again, I very much like to be in a practice of like giving things time to like marinate. Sometimes I need to sleep on something and come back and see how if I still feel the same level of anger or frustration or whatever. Very few things have felt that way. Commendations have felt that way, unfortunately. The new dungeon, the solo experience for a new dungeon felt that way. So it happens that I sleep on it and I come back and I'm still upset, but like it's very far and few between. But yeah, I've slept on this marathon thing and I don't even know where to start. It's just like and again, this is definitely more freeform than usual, but for folks who don't know, Bungie, the company who creates the game we love to hate, Destiny 2, is also, and which we've known about for a while. They did some teasers a while back, but it's getting closer. As it's getting closer to the launch, even though it's a little whiles away, we know that they've been creating this other PvP centric game that was going to be an extraction shooter called Marathon. Okay, Marathon was originally like a game from like the 70s or 80s or something, like super like long, but way before my time. But like hella old. It was like from the 70s or 80s, hell old. For the boomers, and it was really made that game. It was a shooter game, and then again because it's under Bungie, Bungie owns the IP. They're revamping it, and so it's not supposed to be like the original game, but again they are taking the name Marathon and kind of building from that. And so the game being an extraction shooter, we really don't know many details. Obviously, 2025, when is the projected launch date or launch year rather, is still far off. We're still in 2023 right now, but like to be in a space where, uh, that's been announced. Originally, there was some buzz. Originally there was some buzz. And yeah, originally there was some buzz. When was it like last year? Whenever when we got like the original teaser, a couple weeks ago we got like they started the official marathon Twitter account. They do all these things. It's no longer twab this week at Bungie. It's twid this week in Destiny because allegedly they're going to start making it this week in Marathon. So like a lot of like cultural shifts are happening within the organization. But one of the things that really like, again, I'm saying this as a non PvP main, who's also played extraction shooters, and I think I have a pretty good sense of what a good extraction shooter is. We've seen Bungie pulling people, and again, I'm coming back to a point I started earlier. There's a couple thoughts here, but one, we're seeing all this like energy from Bungie around this thing. It's a new game, new things are exciting, that's great, but also there are people who are only going to play Destiny. It doesn't matter what Bungie creates, they're just going to play Destiny. And that's fine. That's valid. That's fine. And I think Bungie has to understand that. But the way they've been pushing Marathon on us as Destiny players, it doesn't even feel like they're doing like a whole bunch of like targeted marketing. Because again, as someone who plays a lot of different games, I'm in a lot of different scenes, a lot of different communities. I've not seen Bungie marketing and ads pushed in the same way that it's pushed when I'm in Destiny specific spaces. And so it feels like there's all this energy from Bungie to like really push Destiny 2 players to get excited and engage around Marathon. But a lot of folks have, what I think are justifiable reservations, right? Uh, a lot of members. And again, we don't know the true numbers because, Bungie hides a lot of the information, but just from folks who currently work or previously worked at Bungie, just kind of like, I wouldn't say leak information, right? That seems malicious, but like, just telling their own experience and say like, Bungie is like stripping the Destiny 2 PvP on top of PvP and Destiny 2 already having its issues and having those issues for years now. And again, I'm saying this to non PvP main, right? And I empathize with these people who are PvP mains. And not only having issues for years, and the kind of there's a whole bunch of folks, ill physics, Tony, aka ill physics, TV, aka the True Vanguard, um, Fallout plays, does some good PvP content, things like so. There are people out there. If you're looking for a PvP perspective on this, I definitely would direct you to those folks. But to see that we've been having issues with PvP, some of those issues have bled over into PvE, which is more of my specialty. And then Bungie is taking staff away, taking capacity and bandwidth and resources away from Destiny 2 to not only work on Marathon, but then also like have what we see, and people will like kind of leak the postings or leak details about the postings, but now like have this influx of hirings for Marathon. Obviously, prior to it being released that the name was going to be Marathon, they say this new PvP game, and people would be like so excited because like, oh, Bungie is hiring all these people for PvP in Destiny 2. Come to find out, months and in some cases, I think like a full year later, they weren't hiring for PvP people for Destiny 2. They were hiring for Marathon in addition to taking away staff, PvP staff, away from Destiny 2 to work on Marathon. So again, I name that because there's this like sour taste in our mouths as Destiny 2 players, because it's not just that like you're pushing this new game on us. You're pushing this new game on us that's in a very, very niche of, oh my god, such an extraction shooters. Extraction shooters are so niche. A lot of people know about Escape from Tarkov, but Escape from Tarkov is very technical. It's very hard to get into. Also, there's just a lot of stress that comes inherently with an extraction shooter that I just don't think lends itself really well to Bungie's way of like designing games. And also just the fact that like with an extremely niche category, it means it's either going to be a big splash and it's going to work really well, or it's going to be a big flop. Like it's not just going to flop, it's not just going mini like baby flop, it's going to horrendously flop. And knowing that it flops, you took all of those staff members away from Destiny 2. And again, when something flops really bad, sometimes they have to end up cutting positions and cutting jobs. So not only are you taking staff away from Destiny 2 to work on this game, if this game doesn't succeed, if this extremely niche game doesn't succeed and doesn't build the excitement, and you can't get Destiny 2 players excited, you can't get anybody excited about this game, and it flops, uh, you've now not just harmed anybody who had the reputation and investment, job wise, whatever, in that game, but also Destiny 2, because you, as Bungie, have decided to pull so many of the resources into that realm. So again, rightfully so, a lot of folks have been naming this piece and just a lot of concerns. The second piece being that with this birth of Marathon and Bungie's push for this dedicated servers, two words, dedicated servers, uh, as a non server maintenance engineer, dev, staff person, human, um, and what I've just done on my own little research, I do have some general understanding of how servers can function. I don't know how they function with Bungie. So again, being very clear. But again, I've done some research because it keeps coming up about why the servers are so bad. I've done some research and to kind of see it or get a mild sense of what could possibly have to go into a structure building for servers. I can imagine, I literally only can imagine that it's just a very tough place to be in. Very tough place to be in, and a lot of resources, a lot of time, a lot of commitment, a lot of investment. That said, when you come out and say that you're now going to give this new game, which you're, again, going to my first point, that you're pushing heavily on Destiny 2 players, and you're now telling them that this new game is going to get dedicated servers, which seemingly could be better. Again, for connections, for latency issues, all the different things that would help a PvP game be successful. You're now giving the new game. Not the first child, not your well, I guess Halo is the first child, but in the metaphor rather, not like like your child that's stuck with you, stayed at home, or like visits home often and it helps take care of the house, helps take care of you. Not, you're not rewarding that child. You're rewarding the child that like barely comes home, barely calls, barely engages. It's this new child. You're still trying to figure out the relationship with this new child, and you're giving them all the cool things. You're giving them all the cool staff. Well, I mean, all the staff are cool, but you're giving them a new staff, you're giving them resources, you're giving them time, attention, all these cool designs and aesthetics that they've been releasing. I'm sure, again, Destiny 2 has had collabs, so I imagine they'll probably do like a Fortnite collab, all these different things. And you're giving them dedicated servers, something that the Destiny 2 PvP community has been asking for years. I'm not mad. I'm not mad that people have a bad taste in their mouth, right? So again, it's the pulling of staff, it's the pushing of the attention, and then also again this whole thing about the dedicated servers. And so to be in a space as a Destiny 2 creator who loves Bungie, I played Halo, I played a lot of different games, but again, in terms of like Bungie, having played Halo from a young age, getting into Destiny 2, like I had, there's like a level of brand loyalty here that I cannot deny to Bungie and the work that they do. And even now, as I'm frustrated with the status of things, I'm gonna try out Marathon. I'm gonna see how it goes. Obviously, we still don't have gameplay footage. There's still a lot of details we're missing. Apparently there's some kind of lore storyline. Y'all know me, I love storylines, so like I also be interested in what that could bring. And I'm not sitting here wishing and hoping that Marathon fails, but for me it just continues to come off so tone deaf when Bungie has the ability, and again the contrast being, the juxtaposition being that all this is happening, all these cool visuals and aesthetics, all these teaser trailers, a new Twitter account, all this attention. It's no longer TWAB, it's Twid. All these things that are shifting for us as a Destiny 2 player base towards this direction of Marathon. Dedicated servers, staff are being pulled over. All these things are being put into this game that we really still, again, honestly, other than like a cool little teaser trailer, we really don't know anything about this game. The Vidoc, they had a mini Vidoc, which was like 10 minutes or something. It was cool, had some details, but like nothing to really justify that you are in a space where like that is all going on. And at the same time, we had days, we had back to back to back to back days where Destiny 2 had to be taken offline. Not like background maintenance, you could offline because the servers were so bad. There were countless people who were doing different activities, doing raids, doing in-game activities. There's even people who were doing solo flawless attempts for the new dungeons, Goes to the Deep, and got error coded and kicked out of the game mid fight. In one case, there was somebody at the boss room who got the boss down to 1/3 health, solo flawless, and got kicked out because of how bad the servers were. And to like see that, see them continue to push all this marathon narrative, seeing how bad the situation currently is in Destiny 2 with the servers, people are, I right now there are dedicated full-time content creators who only do Destiny 2 content, who are playing, who are desperately trying to find anything else to play. They're playing Diablo. I've even seen some of them play Fortnite, like, and they're like, hey, yo, I haven't played Fortnite in like a year. But like, people are going to like ends of the earth to find something else to play because the instability in the game, the lack of communication from Bungie. Hitting on that note real quick, because that actually did bother me a lot. In addition to community members like subtweeting people, which again, weird. In the nicest, most respectful way I can. That's just weird. As someone who works a 9 to 5 and I show up and I have to be professional, it doesn't matter if I'm having a bad day, I'm feeling some type of way. If I'm working with a client, I'm working on a project, I don't get to like show up and subtweet a client. I don't get to do that. That's not what I'm paid to do. That's not my job. My job is to show up, be professional, do my job the best of my ability, support my colleagues, get the projects, get to the goals. And so like anyways, I'm sorry, that was a small tangent, but community managers subtweeting community members is like weird. Um and it would just kind of always very be weird to me. But it was just like the fact is, it's like you had some of that going on, and then also in the midst of like ridiculous issues with the server, what was the Bungie account doing? Tweeting memes. Now, obviously, not the Bungie help site. The Bungie help site obviously just does the things like that, but the Destiny dev team was posting memes. One in particular was like I had it tabbed up somewhere. One in particular was this weird bizarre meme about Sloan and Drifter. I'm sure again, I play the weekly story, but it really didn't make sense. But it's like in the midst of like servers going down, people getting kicked out during solo flawless runs, all this different stuff, all the different shifts that were happening in the game and instability, you have the dev team posting memes. Now, again, I do not sit here and bully devs. I'm not here to bully staff. I'm just saying optics. I'm saying perspective. I'm saying how can us as Destiny 2 players really continue to put blind faith into an organization that can't even like read the room? Like, sure, maybe in the right moment at the right time it was a good meme. Maybe at the right moment, at the right time, it's appropriate to like joke around. But like we're in a space where like the game is in a really bad place. The player population is continuing to drop. People are unexcited about the game. Even with recently, not that many weeks ago, there was all this hype around Kate 6 potentially coming back, and then the final shape teaser. People are so like over it. People don't even care anymore. That's how bad the issue with the servers have been up to this point. And for Bungie not to directly address it, come out with a statement. You could do like the little corny statements that other game studios come out with. It's like a screenshot of a note with a black background, and you could have done anything to say like, hey, we understand your frustration. Hey, we understand that this isn't great circumstances. This is going on, because and I'll get to my last point, but they could have put out any type of statement talking about the status, because clearly you got bandwidth to give us all the information. Well, not obviously not all, but like give us all this like information and visuals and all this insider status for this new game that you're coming up with the marathon. And while we're having just substantial issues with servers, people getting kicked out of the game, it's just not playable for days on end. You can't even do the community the courtesy of a statement. For me, really, rubbed me the wrong way. And really just, I don't know, it just, the easiest way I can frame it is just, it just felt so tone deaf. It just felt so, yeah, that, I think that's the best way I can say it without like being like potentially coming off like rude or mean. It's just like, how can you as a company say that you value your community members when like obviously, and I gotta say this, it's unfortunate, but I do have to say this because folks will take things out of perspective. Obviously, I'm not sitting here saying that every little comment and issue that every individual community member has needs to be addressed with a full blown 30-page statement. No one's saying that. But when we're seeing everybody from small creators to large creators to no creators, people who just play the game, casuals, sweats, literally, there are very few times when the whole community is actually united on something. And to see the whole community unite, PvP enthusiasts, PvE enthusiasts, everybody was just like, yo, this sucks. And then Bungie didn't even take the courtesy, the professional courtesy of saying, okay, you know what? The community as a whole, not like one or two points of data, the community as a whole is saying, this is bad. Let's come out and say something to actually address it head on. And, just, I don't know. It's a courtesy thing. Again, really trying to be as level headed as possible and kind of keep from saying anything uh, too negative. But again, I want to be critical, but I don't want to be negative because it's just frustrating for this game that I put so much effort into for so many years and enjoyed and had such a really great time. And I see myself unfortunately leaning more towards the crew folks who's like, Destiny is dying, Destiny is dead. Like, because right now, without evidence otherwise, without insider status, without statements, without clarity, without transparency from Bungie, yeah, from the outside, it looks like the game is dying. It looks like it feels like you're no longer invested in the well being of Destiny 2, which means you're no longer well invested in the well being of its player base. And I'm a part of that player base, and I don't feel wanted or desired or appreciated or invested in by this organization that I have invested so much of my time. And so again, people are moving to other games, even if it's just temporary. It has a lot of meaning and impact where people are like hand throwing their hands in the air, just like, I give up. It's a difference when people are still willing to fight back, when people are still willing to fight for a relationship or fight for what they believe is right. You can see that there's still an investment there, right? But when people throw their hands in the air and they're like, I give up, it's over. Like, when people hit that frustration point where it's just like, I just can't do anything, I'm done, you've more than likely lost that person for the long term. And so to be in a space where all of this is happening and ultimately, and again, this is my last point, um, it just seems that something's going on. And just kind of doubling down on the transparency piece, it just seems like there's something going on where it's like, just tell us. No one's like, I don't know. I feel like a parent talking to their child and their child was hiding something like really silly. Is just like, yo, just tell me. Like, I'm not gonna like beat you up. I'm not gonna, like, I'm not gonna harm you. Just like have a direct conversation. Let's engage. Let's talk about it. Cause it just feels like, are you being DDoSed right now? Or is there like, is this just like actual, like the servers themselves are bad? Like you need to upgrade them or what, like what is going on that like you just can't come to us being the community directly and say, hey, we know we're in a bad spot or we know we're in a challenging position right now. Here's what's going on. But no, they rather talk about last wish deep sight weapons. They rather make a really silly, nonsensical, unfunny, super unserious meme about Sloan and Drifter. They'll retweet Bungie Help every once and again to like, the Bungie Help page, but like to know that there was this whole separate series of social media, both on like Reddit as well as Twitter, for the devs, the developers, to more directly engage the community, and then they're not using that channel to actually engage with the community. That's a problem. And it's a problem not because like they don't have capacity or bandwidth. They have capacity and bandwidth. And that's like the frustration point that you're seeing across the community, because you know where they're putting their effort and energy. They're putting it into marathon. They're putting it into matter. You know, we haven't even started talking about matter. I think matter is supposed to come out in 2025 as well, right? Or a little bit later. Bungie has reached $3.6 billion from Sony. It went somewhere. And it just seems with each passing day, it clearly did not go into any type of staff, resource, whatever investment into Destiny 2. And, you know, at a certain point, if that's the reality, and we, you know, Marathon comes out and we see, you know, we really see the depth of the resources they put into it, and we see that, you know, Destiny 2 is not going to get those resources. What are we going to do? There's nothing at that point that we can do. But what I do believe, and again, what I think is part of this video and other videos that folks have been putting up, uh, is like fighting now and kind of saying that, hey, like we don't hate y'all. We're you know, we're not here to bully people, but we are here to be critical and say that, hey, this is something that we as community members have put a lot of time and energy into. Point blank period. A lot of point blank period. A lot of time and energy into. And we understand that you as staff members, as developers, as, you know, people who management, you know, people who are making these decisions about the direction of the game are invested too. No one's saying that they're not invested. No one is out here bullying them. No one's saying that they're not invested. What I'm saying specifically is that at the end of the day, I do, and maybe this is a hot take. I don't think it's a hot take, but I do believe it's Bungie's responsibility to be putting up more transparency and having more honesty and integrity with the way that they're engaging with the community. Because right now, like, we're not even like having like mature conversations. The servers are literally having the game literally has to be taken offline multiple times. The servers are that unstable, but y'all have time to put up a meme. You have time to put up all this stuff. And again, I know that Destiny 2 and Marathon are different teams. Don't get me started. I'm not silly. I know that. I know they're different teams, but they're coming from the same company, the same leadership who is deciding the directions and the priorities for the organization. And when it's very clear that there are people in the organization who are not prioritizing the game, just say that. Just say that. I would much rather you, just like, and again, it's very similar to what a lot of PvP people say. It would have been so much better if 2 years ago they're like, hey y'all, for the next 2 to 3 years, we are going to be pulling staff away from PvP. We're deprioritizing, not for the long term, but for like the next 2 to 3 years. We're working on other endeavors. We'll come back to it. All those PvP people, their expectations would have been set. They would be a lot less angry with Bungie. They would have moved on, played Apex, you know, they COD, you know, like they would have figured out other things to supplement their PvP interests. But Bungie never said that. Bungie was never honest. And honesty is so huge, especially when we're seeing all these other companies have you know, sexual harassment scandals, or, you know, there's all these different things, embezzlement scandals, and then they're covering up until like there's a New York Times expose or something comes out, right? And I feel like um similarly, not the same, but similarly, if there are issues going on in the background, no one's asking you to tell us Bungie's social security number. Like we're not looking for the data codes to get into the office building. We're not looking for that. But something as small as a statement to be like, we know this is a frustrating time and we're gonna do better, and we can't say much more, but we faced a DDoS attack, or we can't say much more, but we actually had a power failure at one of the buildings, and it corrupted data on one, you know, like something that, like, again, I'm not saying that those situations happen, but I'm saying something more than just like, ha ha ha, retweet Bungie help, and then put up a silly meme that no one really cares about. Because again, we're not kids. I mean, some folks who play the game are kids, but um, the inability to have I was going to say adult conversation, but the inability to have a mature conversation with the community continues to be frustrating. This is not the first time it's happened, but it does seem to be getting worse. And as someone who is kind of seen, especially in the comment section sometimes, as someone who's more like pro Bungie, even though I'm really not, I feel like I'm fair in my critiques of the community as well as my critique of Bungie. Uh, but as someone who, like, a lot of people view me as pro Bungie, I think I might be moving to the dark side. I think I might be moving to the other, because it's been a lot. Again, I'm a variety gamer, so it's not like I'm bored with Destiny. I really rarely get bored with Destiny, if at all. I don't think I've been bored with Destiny in years. So it's not that, but it's like when when me or really anyone feels disrespected, when you feel like you're not being valued, like your demeanor changed, the way you approach things changed. And just for the sake of like a metaphor, to like be in a relationship where like you're buying flowers, you're remembering anniversaries, you're showing up on, on time for date night, you're making sure you got a babysitter if you got kids, like you're doing all the things that you need. You got a foot massager machine, for after work if they got a hard day of work. You're doing all the things that you know how to do to show up in a healthy way. You're communicating, you're doing all the things, right? You're spoiling your partner, you're communicating, you're showing up in as a healthy way as possible. And your partner, this other person in your relationship, just shows up and just takes the foot rub and takes the good wine and takes date night, or and doesn't engage, doesn't communicate, doesn't have a healthy response back. And maybe you put up with it for a while. Maybe, maybe you learn to be okay with it. Maybe you learn to put away some of those feelings and allow yourself to just say, well, they just need time. They just need time. But eventually, and again, as the adage, as the age old adage goes, when people show you who they are, believe them. And I think we're at one of those points where we're being shown Bungie's priorities. We're being shown who they are and how they operate, even if it's not the devs themselves, even if it's not the middle management or like the regular staff themselves, and it's just leadership. Something needs to change, because this is not sustainable. This is not how you hold and sustain and keep relationships, at least not healthy ones. And ultimately, the status of Marathon will have a deep and lasting impact on the game. If it's successful with all of the PvP staff that's over there now, who's getting pulled over there, not like signing up, like who's getting pulled off other Destiny 2 projects to go over to Marathon with the dedicated server. If it's a success, if Marathon's a success, they will just continue to pull resources over there. They will continue to not invest in Destiny 2, and that's going to feel really bad. And if it flops, after they put all this time and energy and money and reputation stake into Marathon, and it flops, and I'm not saying that one to flop, but I'm saying if it does, it flopping after they put all those resources and probably have to lay people off and all these different things, that impacts Destiny 2 too. And it's just like we're in a lose-lose situation where, again, come from the perspective of Destiny 2 community members, where it's past time for Bungie to say something. They need to have a clear statement that is a state of Destiny. They need to tell us where things are, not just with the servers, but with management, with staff, with the actual direction. We don't need another final shape trailer. We don't need to be throwing these little scraps. We need something substantive that is very clear about what Bungie's actual intentions are for this game. Because again, if you are slowly but surely just trying to deprioritize the game, just say that. Just say that. Just I'm really trying to be positive or just be even handed, but like grow up and say what you need to say. Grow up, say what you need to say, be an adult, be direct, be honest, be fair, but be honest, and stop again what it seems like just trailing us around. Again, going back to the relationship metaphor, and just taking advantage of the good faith and goodwill and blind faith, honestly. Um, the blind faith and goodwill that the community has been putting into Bungie for so long, and it just feels like they've just become bloated on it. And when things get bad, like they have been getting as of recent, they just don't feel obligated to actually engage in a healthy way. And honestly, I think it's just not good for this relationship between organization and company, and it worries me. It worries me to say the least. But that's where I'm going to leave it off. I have a couple more points, but that's where I'm going to leave it off for right now. Um, yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. Again, if you're excited about Marathon, that's totally valid. I want to be very clear. I fully intend to try the game and give it a fair shot. But also, I just don't think we can sit here and act like the way that Bungie has gone about resourcing and prioritizing prioritizing Marathon, Matter, these other endeavors. Potentially, there might be a Destiny 2 TV show. All these things, sure, probably great, probably going to do well. But Destiny 2, the game, where does that put that in the long term? You know, let me know in the comments what you think, what your feelings are, and yeah, where you kind of stand on all of this change that we're seeing in the community as of now. Thank you. Looking forward to seeing y'all Starside. Peace.